My message is to the parents of Trayvon Martin. You know, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon.
The shooting death of Trayvon Martin was ground zero for racial division in America.
Trayvon Martin was killed for wearing a hoodie, quite frankly.
I decided to produce a film on how the case affects American politics to this day. It had started as a self-defense case, but then, out of the blue, they found Trayvon's girlfriend.
She is a minor child.
This phone witness led to the most racially divisive trial since O.J. The girlfriend had written Trayvon's mother a letter.
I put it in a box.
Did you sign it at the bottom?
Yes.
What name did you use?
Diamond Eugene.
My investigation started with Trayvon's 750-page cell phone records. I made a shocking discovery. Trayvon did have a girlfriend named Diamond Eugene, but she wasn't the witness at the trial. To understand what really happened, I knew I had to find the real Diamond. My research took me to the back alleys of Little Haiti.
Maybe they can help me find Diamond.
Yeah, maybe they will help.
To the high schools of Miami Gardens. To Florida's capital city of Tallahassee. And finally, to Sanford, Florida, where I got to know George Zimmerman. For the first time, he revealed Trayvon's last words.
I heard him say, "Tell Mama Alicia I'm sorry."
Then I found a tape where Rachel confessed to prosecutors.
Real guilty.
Why do you feel real guilty?
I ain't know about I ain't know about it.
And then, finally, I found Trayvon's real girlfriend, Diamond Eugene. I was then able to reconstruct the shocking story of what really happened the month before and after the shooting. I used forensic handwriting analysis and even DNA to confirm what I had uncovered, that Diamond was switched for a fake witness in a murder trial in the most stunning hoax in American judicial history, a hoax whose consequences have been tragic beyond anyone's imagination. In telling this story, my hope is to show how politicians and the media have pulled us apart when our shared aspirations have always been to come together as one nation.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is our Throwback Thursday movie review. So we checked out this documentary, and it's called The Trayvon Hoax by Joel Gilbert, and it's really good. This is one of the best documentaries. This is honestly the most important documentary in modern history, but of course, you're never going to hear about it. You're never going to see it promoted in the media. You're never going to see it. Maybe if he was lucky, they might put it on Fox News. However, I don't actually agree with a lot of the conclusions that he comes to with. I actually think he did a good job of making me sympathize with Trayvon Martin. He did a good job of making me understand the details of his life and what circumstances made him do the things he did. So, hats off to him for doing that. That was incredible. I did not think anybody would make me be able to empathize with Trayvon. So, a fantastic job there. And but this whole thing breaks down what you saw in the trailer. Again, this is witness fraud, and he uncovers the circumstances as to why the girl switched with her. Basically, what you'll find out, it's her half sister. What's her name?
Diamond Eugene.
Diamond Eugene. What's the other girl's name?
Rachel Chantel.
Chantel. I thought it was Rachel something else.
I think it was Rachel Chantel.
It's written on the paper there.
Let me see. Gentel?
Rachel Gentel.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, they're half sisters, and it was. I don't know how else to describe it. Basically, the girl that Trayvon Martin was in a existential crisis because he thought he was in love with this girl named Diamond, and it turns out Diamond was using Trayvon to make her actual boyfriend jealous. And I think Trayvon was slowly but surely starting to realize that he was like a rebound or a side piece to make somebody else jealous.
Yep.
And enter George Zimmerman following him. He was on the phone having probably like an end of the relationship breakup. And if you understand that Trayvon was a big fan of UFC and a big fan of street fighting, and you have a teenager in an emotional state like that, it's not. I'm not excusing his decision. I'm helping people understand as to why he was doing this. I mean, emotionally distraught, love of his life breaking up with him, and some guys just kind of again. He actually wasn't following him either. I didn't know George Zimmerman wasn't following. They actually happened to just accidentally bump into each other, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So
at least again, that's from George Zimmerman's perspective.
Yeah, George Zimmerman was tailing the guy, but he actually lost him, and he actually just happened to bump into him eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so a crazy story. But anyway, we'll just kind of start reviewing this thing. And again, this is a phenomenal documentary. There's a couple. He does some stuff where it's really dumb, like he does a side quest where he goes and meets with a voodoo person because it turns out all these people are of Haitian descent, so he goes to a voodoo person to see if they can help him find. And of course, voodoo, it's all nonsense, and the voodoo person doesn't help them at all. It's just this dumb little side adventure he has in there for entertainment purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so we'll if you want to just start wherever we should start at in this documentary, where I have those markers on there. You
Absolutely.
Just go
He
ahead.
said, yeah, the first one I have here is the opening, so we'll check this out and we'll get it started.
So I started wondering, who was Trayvon Martin really? And what was Trayvon's true legacy? I needed to find out. I decided to produce a film about the case and how it affected American politics. In making the film, I got to know George Zimmerman.
All right, you can pause it.
I got to know.
There's another timestamp there for George Zimmerman on there.
There is, but this tells me to go till 3:31.
All right, cool. As long as you can see it, yeah.
You got it.
Trayvon Martin. And, much to my surprise, I got to know Trayvon's real girlfriend, Diamond Eugene. Diamond was on the phone with Trayvon just before he was shot. I uncovered how Diamond was switched for a fake witness in the most stunning hoax in American judicial history, a hoax whose consequences have been tragic beyond anyone's imagination.
Yeah.
I would come to call this the Trayvon hoax.
That.
Yeah. So again, fantastic little synopsis he's got going here. This is how he opens this thing up, and we're going to jump right into his little interview with George Zimmerman. We're going to skip ahead here a bit and see this. And again, I highly recommend everyone watching this documentary. It's about 2 hours long. It's a long thing, but you can watch it on double speed on YouTube and still get enjoyment out of it. Again, fantastic content that's out there for free.
Yeah.
And this is phenomenal. This investigation this guy puts together. So just
exactly. It just goes to show you, like, lawyers don't go into nearly as much investigation as these guys do.
We've said this before, but I mean, this country was created for a moral and religious people who think they're going to be held to account. And the problem with modern lawyers is they don't care about the truth; they care about winning. Like again, law, and if we lived in a good, righteous society, we would care about the truth. You know, if winning or losing shouldn't matter to a lawyer. The truth coming out should matter to both the prosecutor and the defense. The defense should do their best job putting up the best defense they can, and the prosecution should do the best job that they can do prosecuting the crime. But both parties should want to come to the truth of the matter, not their version of the truth of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's so scary about modern lawyering. It's like, again, you have all these lawyers like going, I don't care if my guy's guilty or not. I just want to win. I want my record to look good.
Yep.
It's so sad. But I mean, again, we this is why we have to live in a moral and righteous society, because the truth is what matters, not your victory record.
Yep.
You know, this is not football. You know, this is not sports. You're just doing a job.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah. So that's my 2 cents on that. Go ahead and we can jump into this George Zimmerman part of this interview.
You got it.
Can you tell me about your mentoring experience?
I was mentoring 2 African-American teenagers in a suburb of Orlando. Unfortunately, they had a father that was imprisoned for life, so they didn't really have a father in the home.
What kind of things were they getting into trouble-wise that you were able to help intervene with?
Unfortunately, as bad as pulling weapons on their parent or slashing tires, skipping school, really a variety of things that a lot of teenagers from that socioeconomic background struggle with. I take them to restaurants that they hadn't been to, kind of expand their cultural horizons. We spend a lot of time at churches playing basketball, just spending time with them one-on-one, letting them know that they're important. And then whenever I could afford it, I'd splurge and take them somewhere nice. It was inspiring to see a positive change in kids that had a troubled background. I got a lot more from the kids than I think they got from me.
Far cry from the portrait that the left-wing media was portraying him as. I mean, this guy was a volunteer. He was a volunteer for at-risk youths, and his youths that he volunteered for were young black men about Trayvon Martin's age. Mm-hmm. And he did things for them. Again, take them out to restaurants, getting to know them. Like, I mean, that's so awesome. And the media just like, that's irrelevant.
Well,
he shot a black guy, therefore he's a bad guy.
Yeah, well, also, like everyone also forgets, is like this was also the first trial in history where it was a white Hispanic person.
Yes.
Like I said, he is Hispanic. There is no such thing as a white Hispanic person. Like George Zimmerman is Hispanic. So if this is not a hate crime as in, oh, a white person just wanted to start attacking black people for no reason. Like, he's Hispanic.
Yeah, just because he has a white-sounding last name, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we'll continue on with this.
Yeah, next marker you have for me here is at 10:17-ish. There we go. We'll go there.
While he was in the midst of raining down blows on me, somebody here opened the door.
Trayvon Martin was on top, correct?
Correct.
And he was the one who was raining blows down on the person on the bottom, George Zimmerman, right?
That's what it looked like.
And he yelled at him, "Stop, stop, I'm calling the police." Even with Mr. Good yelling that he was calling the police, Trayvon didn't stop. He didn't let up at all. He continued his attack.
And then what did you do to get out of the situation?
I had shimmied my body down the grass to get my head off of the concrete sidewalk. It made my jacket ride up my body and exposed my firearm that had been concealed. I felt his arm going down to my side, and I grabbed it. I didn't really remember that I had the firearm on me, and I didn't think it would ever come into play. And I just grabbed my firearm and I shot him one time. After I fired the shot, I believed I didn't even shoot him. I didn't think I hit him because he sat up and he said, "Oh, you got me." I thought he was simply stating that he wasn't going to fight anymore. He knew that I got to the gun before he did. "I know you have a gun now. I heard it. I'm giving up." My first reaction was concern for my neighbors. Where did the bullet go? Because of the position we were in, my shot would have gone into one of their bedrooms.
And that stunning...
Again, he didn't even think he shot the guy. He just pulled the trigger. I know a lot of people can argue, it's like, no, he was ready for it. That's why he went out there and chased him. You know, sure, you can probably make that argument. But why wasn't it the first thing he did? Why didn't he already have his gun drawn if all he wanted to do was kill a young black man? Yeah. Again, he was getting pulverized. And I don't know if you guys have ever been in a fight. Again, this always comes from people who've never been in fights before and never been punched in the face. But when you're in a high-risk scenario, doing simple tasks is incredibly difficult. Mm-hmm. Like, when you're in a stressful environment, again, watch the movie Warfare. You know, it's like guys couldn't even tie a knot because they're so charged full of adrenaline. Imagine getting punched in the face, not being able to think straight. Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm just getting pummeled. You know, it's like, I forgot I had a gun on me.
Even Mike Tyson will tell you that. It's like, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
That's true. That's true. So it's amazing that people, you know, when people not experiencing the same thing, it's like, go to a boxing gym. Just get popped in the mouth one time. See if you're thinking or focusing straight after that. You know, it takes time to adjust to that. And it's really sad that this is how this played out. You know, I mean, George obviously did not want this to happen. He just was, they'd had crime happening in the neighborhood, and he was just like, this kid doesn't look like he's supposed to be here, and was kind of tailing after him.
Yep.
Despite the fact he was heading to somebody's house that he knew.
Pretty sure it was his stepmom.
Yeah.
So
anyway, this next parts you're about to see, it's going to get into Trayvon's mindset and what he was doing and going through at this time and why he lashed out in this particular way. But again, it's so sad that they convicted George Martin for this when he was just a dude trying to do what he thought was right in the moment.
Mm-hmm. And you wonder why people have slowly becoming less and less likely to intervene in situations like this.
Yes,
it's because
it's
of trials like
the Daniel
this.
Penny effect will happen. People are like Daniel Penny helping people out on that subway, and people are like, "Well, we have to prosecute that guy because he's a bad guy. He killed a black person." It's like it's that saying that happened on that Philadelphia railroad thing where or that tram or whatever, where that lady got R-worded on it, graped on it.
Yeah.
And everyone just filmed it and recorded it. It's like, don't worry, ma'am, we got you covered. We got the evidence, It's like instead of somebody just going up there and kicking the guy, assaulting the girl in the head.
Exactly. But that's the thing. Is like people are terrified to do these things now, so they'd rather. But that's the thing. They want a society where you'd rather record a crime than do something.
Yes, it's a communist society worldview. It's like, don't worry, that's somebody else's job. It's not your job. Just do your normal everyday thing, automaton. Don't intervene. Somebody else will intervene.
Yeah.
So again, this is the downfall of America right here. This is the beginning of that. I'm too afraid to do anything. Again, the worst thing I can be called is racist. The first thing I can do is intervene or try to be a good citizen.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
100%.
Florida is an open record state. This means every document from every court case is available upon request. So I ordered up all the cell phone records in the Zimmerman case. They said it would take about 2 weeks. Apparently, Trayvon Martin's phone records had to be subpoenaed because his father refused to give them to police. Then the prosecutors tried very hard to keep the records out of court. In fact, the defense spent 2/3 of their time demanding discovery. This was...
Then that's where it ends on that one.
Yeah, again, there's a reason why they didn't want Trayvon's cell phone records uncovered, because it would reveal a lot about his character, a lot about what the things that he found interesting. Again, as we continue in this, he was a big drug guy. He loved to smoke weed. He loved to do some. There was some type of liquid drug that they created using codeine or something.
Yeah, it's cough syrup, and you put it in Sprite, and it's basically to make you it
gets you high.
Mm-hmm, yes,
and he was heavily involved. His friends were all involved in gang culture. A lot of his friends were involved in gangs. So, again, it doesn't paint Trayvon in a very good light.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll go ahead and just keep going wherever we're at.
In the fall of 2011, Trayvon's activities seemed to revolve around school, church, and going to the movies with female friends. His cell phone contacts were loaded with images of girls blowing kisses, girls showing a little skin, and more girls. Closest to Trayvon seemed to be 4 former girlfriends who were somewhat similar, about 5'3", thin, and 2 years younger than him. They all had nicknames, so I cross-referenced their phone numbers and email addresses to locate their Facebook pages to identify them. These included Sunshine. She was Ashley Birch.
Well, this is getting too far into it. I'm supposed to stop it a little bit sooner. But
yes, but the point of this is Trayvon had a type.
Mm-hmm.
He liked 5'3", skinny girls. And as you can see, the girl that took the witness stand that you saw in the trailer and all that stuff is not that. So, what's going on here? You just mean to tell me that all of a sudden, he had a type, all like, I mean, his phone is loaded with girls, and they all look exactly the same, or not exactly the same, but you know what I'm saying. Like they all had the same physical features. 5'3", skinny.
Wherever you think that Trayvon is, whether you think he's looking down on us from heaven or looking up from us from hell, like I can assure you, he saw that girl take the stand and go, "Everybody thinks that's my girl."
Yeah, everyone thinks that I'm a chubby chaser. Hell no.
That is hilarious. But check. Well, this is my next timestamp point, so I'm hitting it now.
Trayvon's male friends seemed like bad news. His best friend was Mario, whom Trayvon called Bru, meaning brother. His real name was Romario Caradis. Trayvon and Mario seemed to go way back. However, Mario could not have been a good influence. His Twitter account image was a gang sign. He made sure everyone knew he was in a gang. He even used fake gold teeth. On a video on Mario's Facebook page, he's showing off his guns and practicing to shoot with friends.
Hold on, brother.
He shot at targets of people. The Miami gang culture was very big and plenty of trouble, and it was all around them. Mario was also friends with Stefan Bramble, another close friend of Trayvon. Trayvon called him Steve O. On Stefan Bramble's Facebook page, I was shocked to see a video he posted smoking marijuana with Trayvon and some underage kids. That nigga Trayvon always got joints for the block. My nigga Trey did love to smoke. Stefan Bramble.
This goes to show you that he was not hanging out with the church
Yes,
group that the defense that the defense was putting up, or I should say this is the prosecution actually.
Yeah, well, again, this is insight into his mind, insight into his friend group. You know, he's a big pothead. Rolled with some. He was a bad boy, and he rolled with some bad dudes. You know, I mean, confirmed. Was he? What's that name of that guy? What's
Corn Pop?
Corn
Pop.
Was Trayvon Corn Pop? You know, but that's a joke. But no, like I think this conclusion that the guy comes here. I think Trayvon was a kid who wanted to do the right thing, but was just so heavily involved in this culture that he was growing up in, couldn't do the right thing because what does right look like? The only good influence he had was one of his church going girlfriends that he had, and the problem is, again, this is what we call fatherless behavior. You know, most of the time you use that for girls, but I mean it's fatherless behavior for boys. Like when you don't have a strong male figure at home, what do? I mean, the gangs become your father figures because who do you want? You want to emulate success. You see these guys; they have money. They're flaunting their money. They have good-looking girls with them. They want to emulate that lifestyle. They want to emulate rap culture, gang lifestyle. This is what happens when you have an absence of father figures.
Yeah, I said that's kind of like the joke that everybody will tell you is like you either get your father figure in the black community, get your father figure from the gang, from your gang, or you get it from your coach. Corey?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely.
You okay?
Yeah. Sorry, one of my sergeants had texted me.
Oh, you're good.
Sorry.
You're good. No, you're good. But yeah, you have my next little point right here. Unless you wanted to make any other points. Right
No. Again, it's fatherless behavior. You know, strong male figures in the home is important. I mean, Larry Elder's been saying this for years. You know, it's like we need black men, good black men of moral integrity in the homes to raise their kids and again, because at some point you stop being afraid of your mom.
Yes,
you know your mom can't hurt you anymore.
That's exactly what I was about to get at. Was at some point every teenage boy realizes that he's bigger and stronger than his mom, and there's no reason to be afraid of her anymore. Whereas if dad comes in, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Like how many times has you've been yelling at your mom and your dad hears you from around the corner?
Yeah, there's TikTok compilations and short compilations on YouTube about kids disrespecting their mom for TikTok shorts and stuff, and they go, "Shut up, mom," and then dad stands up and starts sprinting over to him to give him a licking, and it's like it's a joke, we're doing it for a prank, because they're doing it to see what dad would do, and dad doesn't tolerate disrespect of mom, and that's a good thing. But they don't have that in this culture because none of these guys have father figures.
Yeah,
it's so important to have a father figure in the home. This is the black culture and black community is living proof of why dads are so important and what happens when you don't have dads in the home.
Yes. So I've got the next spot pulled up right here.
Face meant marijuana. In 3 months, Trayvon was suspended from school 3 times. He had a video on his cell phone of street fighting. What you doing?
Watching videos on World Star fights.
Trayvon's YouTube channel had videos of fighting and mixed martial arts. Each time he got suspended, his mother kicked him out and sent him to live with his father. Pack up your clothes. I love you, but I think you being with your dad is best. Pack up your clothes now.
You never knew that he was being considered for expulsion?
No, I did not.
This is the first time I ever heard
Wow.
of that.
Trayvon's friends were concerned.
See, right there, lies, right there. Like he has the text messages between mom saying, "Hey, you're gonna go live with your dad because you're getting fighting, you're getting expelled." This is the first I've heard that he was getting expelled. Lying, straight to your face.
Mm-hmm. And then also getting into the World Star sensation. I mean, how many times do you see somebody getting into a fight and then you just hear a bunch of people go, "World Star,
Yeah.
World Star"?
This is a culture thing, and it's not a good culture thing. You know, I mean, there's a healthy way to go out. If he wanted to join like a boxing ring, he probably didn't have the money to do it, but if he wanted to join like a gym and start training for UFC, that's what he should have done. A healthy avenue where you had a coach that was like, what is fighting for? Self-defense. You don't use it aggressively. You don't get to attack people because you feel like it. If he had some type of mentor figure like that as a trainer and a coach, he'd be better off than, you know, but I mean, again, it's that Kimbo Slice stuff. You remember Kimbo Slice was huge when we were in high school. Like, he'd go around and challenge people on the streets.
Yes, that's how he got blown up, was street fighting, was just challenging random people. "You think you can beat me?" Yeah, that was Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, so I mean, it's that Trayvon kind of had that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, continue.
I was fighting, man. You got suspended? I lost the first round, but won the second and third. You ain't tell me you swung on a bus driver. I was watching a fight, and a teacher said I hit him. Stop.
You ain't gonna be satisfied till you get suspended again, huh?
My mom just told me I gotta move. You had a fight this year? Damn, bro, I got kicked out. You fighting? Suspended, fighting. What you fighting for? That nigga snitched on me. The Urban Dictionary defines snitches as motherfuckers who gets their ass beat up.
Again, this is that gang culture, that slang, you know, black culture nonsense. You know, it's like a snitch, someone who like rats you out. And again, that's what he would assume. This is another big reason why that's what he called Zimmerman. He goes, "Hey, you snitching on me?" Whenever he saw him. Like, this goes to show you the mentality of Trayvon. So again, we'll continue, and we'll show you that again, Trayvon was in a state of duress whenever George Zimmerman was following him, because he was having a end of the relationship fight with his girlfriend at the time, or as he would find out, he was a side piece or a rebound, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So continue.
Rereading Trayvon's text messages about 100 times, as I set out to do, I had come to know Trayvon. And, surprisingly, now I knew Diamond too, almost personally. Shit, I love my duck ass. I knew her vibe, her jive, and her attitude well enough to know that something was very wrong here. Diamond was attractive, highly sexualized, and self-confident in the extreme. Rachel Gentile was none of this. Did Trayvon really beg to jump into a bathtub with Rachel? Yet Rachel was the girl we all saw at the trial claiming to be Diamond.
My name was a lie.
That's a name that you made up?
That's my nickname.
But your last name isn't Eugene.
That's my mother.
Trayvon's girlfriends were all short, thin, and younger than him. Rachel Gentile was a year older and outweighed him by 100 pounds.
Boom.
And there was no duck ass.
Yeah. Pause.
I checked Trayvon's
Does it tell you to keep going?
No, it only has about 5 seconds left.
Okay.
So you want to keep going? Or you want
Yeah,
to
you can let it roll for just a minute longer.
contacts. There was no Rachel Gentile.
Yeah. So again, there was no Rachel Gentile in his contacts, in Trayvon's contacts. So again, the prosecution or the defense, or no, not the defense, the prosecution.
It'd be the prosecution.
Basically pulled this witness out. This is witness fraud, but again, it's witness fraud based on what Diamond does. Again, I think this guy comes to the wrong conclusion about Diamond. Diamond is at her heart a liar. and was dealing with some regret and didn't want to become, or didn't want to, the reality of her being a adulterer, basically, or, a serial cheater to come out. And her mother did her best that she could to protect her from that. And again, ultimately, this is all because of her. The reason all this happened.
Yeah.
BLM, all the riots, like it's crazy. But yeah, keep going.
Women trying to do everything they can to protect their morality or their chastity.
Yeah, well, no, it's what the, I mean, again, everybody hates the red. It's like what the red pill say. What is the one thing women can't accept? Accountability for their actions, especially when they've done something wrong. You know, it's like if they've cheated, had an affair. It's like, why does a woman cry whenever? I mean, you have experience with this. Why does a woman cry when you catch them in a lie?
Yeah.
Not because they're sad that they caught you in the lie, but they're sad because they got caught. This is the truth, and it's the truth for her. She didn't want to face the reality and the consequences of her actions, let alone all those be public for the world to see too. I mean, I get it. Like, her dirty laundry was going to have to be aired publicly. It's like, yeah, I was having a relationship. I was trying to be with this guy Jeff, but Trayvon was who I was using to make Jeff jealous, so Jeff would give me more attention. Like, do you think any high school girl would want that? Absolutely not. They can barely handle their own emotions at that age. They're all serial narcissists at that age, basically. And again, I get why, but at the same time, it's like, this is why the truth is so important. Why, again, we have to have a moral and religious society for our legal system to work. And when you have people who don't care about that, who just want to protect themselves, they're incentivized. Like, again, you are incentivized to lie to protect yourself in court.
Yep. Next one's like 5 seconds from now, so I'm just going to roll this one through.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
There was an entry for Diamond with her phone number used with Trayvon, but no photo. Trayvon often implored Diamond to text photos, and she always obliged. Send me a pic. You got the pic? Yeah. I then went through the 3,000 photos stored on Trayvon's phone. Yet there was no picture of Rachel Gentile, who was unmistakable. Then I recalled Trayvon often called Diamond Bae for babe. Morning, Bae. Be safe, Bae. Hey, Bae. I just got home, Bae. Sure enough, there was a contact for Bae right next to the phone number used by Diamond. However, the photo of Bae was not Rachel Gentile. Even though Bae wore a long weave and a ton of light makeup, no sighted person could possibly confuse her with Rachel Gentile. How could the state of Florida prosecutors not have seen this?
The young lady completely connects the dots.
I quickly downloaded Benjamin Crump's 20-minute phone call with Diamond. That interview was 3 weeks after Trayvon was killed on March 19, 2012. Then I downloaded the recording of Rachel Gentile's deposition with prosecutor Bernie De La Rionda from exactly 2 weeks later on April 2nd. I selected similar phrases from each interview and compared them, listening over and over.
What you doing around here?
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 Trayvon, you like walk.
Trayvon, start walking.
Trayvon, you like walk.
Trayvon, start walking.
Their voices shared little. The tone, inflection, syntax, rhythm, and accents didn't match.
And you was walking out the store.
You leaving the store.
And you was walking out the store.
You leaving the store.
Okay, run to your house.
I told him to run to the house.
Okay, run to your house.
I told him to run to the house.
Diamond spoke fluidly and with confidence. The terminology was different too.
Is his headset like still?
The headphone, he might.
Is this part of it? Is this something?
No, it's longer. You don't have the ending time on here written down correctly.
Oh,
so I'm not sure where it was supposed to end.
Yeah,
but
it was probably,
I liked all that. Like I said, but yeah,
yeah,
it goes to show you that they're not the same person. The person that was interviewed in the phone call, that the guy just literally put the phone up to the microphone, that the lawyer put up to the microphone, is not the same person as the person who was put on the stand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How crazy is this, guys? This is just a random author and freaking documentarian found all this out. Like, why could, again, our legal system, it's scary, the people that they put in charge of our legal system. But again, at the same time, they spent 2/3 of their time requesting, what do you call it? what do you call that whenever you're trying to get the evidence?
Discovery.
Discovery. It's
Yeah.
discovery.
Mhm.
They spent most of their time going, we want this stuff. And they were like, no, you're not going to get the text message change. You're not going to get any of that. Like, I mean, that's how you know it's bad whenever, like, you as the defense and the prosecutor, you can't get anything. It's like, we're trying to protect our client. Give us all this stuff so we can show who this guy was. And they're like, no, you're not going to do that. That's pathetic. I mean, that's the legal system right now, especially when there's so much politics involved, you know.
Yep. So here's the next point right here. And it looks like this is the letter, and it shows that the person who wrote the letter is not the same person that described it, basically. And
yeah.
And and it shows that this girl doesn't have the girl that was on the stand does not have the same signature
nor
or
can
handwriting
nor can she read cursive, where they basically come together and say, I had my auntie or a friend write for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so sad. But yeah, go ahead.
Of the trial was Rachel talking about a letter the real Diamond had given to Sabrina Fulton.
Are you able to read that copy well enough that you can tell us if it's in fact the same letter?
No,
Are you unable to read that at all?
I don't understand. Cursive. I don't read cursive.
The letter detailed everything Diamond said she heard, yet Sabrina kept the evidence secret for a year, tucked away in her Bible until just before the trial.
Sabrina
Had you
is Trayvon's
disclosed
actual mom. Mom Alicia is the one that Trayvon would basically consider his mother, though.
Mm-hmm.
So his stepmom is who Trayvon idolized a little more.
She had this letter given to her for over a year, and she tucked it away in her Bible and just forgot about it when the police were like, do you have any evidence or anything that we could use
to find this girl? And she's like, nope.
And that's not suspicious at all.
Yeah.
Very strange. Let me see here. Next point that we have here. We're at 38. Oh, we got to go a little bit further.
This
But yeah,
to
no, I
the
mean, it's
state
just insane.
before yesterday?
No,
Did you discuss this with your attorney, the existence of this letter?
I did not.
Did you consider this letter significant?
I consider that letter to be personal and sentimental.
In fact, there was nothing personal about it. It was only a narrative of the phone call with Trayvon, and that was it. There was no Dear Sabrina, no feelings, and it ended with simply, thank you, Diamond Eugene.
What did you do once you read it?
I've received several letters, so I put it in a box.
Meanwhile, Tracy Martin.
Strange. You get this letter that details the last phone call that your son had with somebody.
Because
And
it
you're just
doesn't
like, I
fit-
just tossed it in a box.
Yep, doesn't fit the narrative, so I'm going to toss it in the box. So it's, yeah. I mean, this woman profited from her son's death.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Like, isn't she like a politician now?
Yeah.
It looked like Rachel could barely write. Though I'm not a handwriting expert, I didn't believe for 1 second that Rachel had signed the name Diamond Eugene.
Yeah. I'm going to try scrolling back just to here so we can see that. There we go, right there. Yeah. Handwriting looks nothing like that. And two, she said that she didn't know how to read cursive. So why is she writing in cursive?
Yeah. And again, you'll find out that the girl on the stand has a learning disability and has the reading. And at the time she was on the stand, had the reading comprehension of a 4th grader. The girl was, what, like 18 or 19 at the time of the trial?
19 at the time of the trial. Yeah.
4th grade level reading comprehension.
No. Didn't mean to do that.
Oh, you're
There we
good.
go.
I didn't believe for 1 second that Rachel had signed the name Diamond Eugene. I began to wonder if any of the witnesses in this case could be trusted, including Diamond herself. Crump was leading the witness.
Let me do this here. Let me have you start over just saying that there, okay? And say it loud and slow for me, okay?
All right.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
In this situation, this context, to me, is irrational. It is nice. It was an innocent boy. Just because he had a mom.
She was just repeating back to Crump the narrative he'd said on the news.
All he had was a bag of Skittles and an iced tea.
This is a black lawyer taking advantage of a low IQ, borderline mentally retarded woman, telling her to say what she's supposed to say. He's, again, as he said, he's leading the witness. He's leading the witness. This woman, her test, she's probably so dumb, her testimony probably shouldn't even be considered admissible in court.
Yeah.
So, again, and we all know, and as this documentary proves, she's not who she claims to be. So, again, this is a black lawyer, the next generation Al Sharpton, using a low IQ person to further their political career.
Yeah. Which, speaking of that, like, that case was found to be a hoax too. The girl that he was defending came out and said, "Yeah, it was all a lie. All my testimony was a lie."
Yeah, I mean, how is Al Sharpton still working if that's the case?
Well, he ain't working as a lawyer. He's working as a TV news personality, which makes perfect sense because all the news does is
lie. And propagandize.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly. But we got like 30 more seconds of this, I believe.
Okay.
Loud and slow.
Even worse, whatever Crump said, Diamond simply agreed with him.
Did Trayvon sound scared?
Yeah.
Did Trayvon sound normal throughout the whole day since you had talked to him?
Yeah. Yeah, he sounded happy.
I had to laugh. Diamond knew Trayvon was not happy that day because of Diamond. You said I'm a waste of your time. It what it is, you really hurt a nigga feelings. It whatever, you done with me? Nigga, go fuck a hoe. Crump slipped up when he told Court TV what was obvious to me. Diamond was coerced.
This interview.
Boom. Boom. It's just this is the level again. This guy is a charlatan. He should have his law license revoked. But no, they won the trial. They got Zimmerman locked up. This case should be thrown out. This man should be disbarred. But again, as far as the community is concerned in the world, George Zimmerman was locked up for rightfully murdering someone, and this guy furthered his political career because of it. When there's money to be made.
Yep. Next one's like 10, 20 seconds away, so I'm just going to let it roll through again.
Yeah.
Interview happened, Jane, because we pushed her making a statement.
For 3 weeks, Diamond was hammered by calls and texts from Trayvon's two best friends, Mario and Stefan Bramble. The tag team pressured Diamond with three-way calls with Felicia, too. By the third week, Diamond caved in.
How did you locate witness number 8?
Mr. Martin got his phone bill, and he saw the last person that was on the phone, and it was this witness.
Only the media could fall for Crump's story of discovering Diamond.
1, 2, 3.
Out of the blue on March 18. Diamond had a lot going on in March 2012. Some calls seemed routine, like fast food. Diamond loved Pizza Hut and Chinese food. She was also concerned about skincare. There were regular calls to financial institutions, a little suspicious for someone too young to have a credit card and calling from an untraceable prepaid phone. There were 21 texts and 6 phone calls with Trayvon's mom, Sabrina Fulton.
Good morning, Matt. Hey, good morning, Robin. We've been following this story for a few weeks now.
There were 74 texts and 4 phone calls between Diamond and ABC News correspondent Matt Gutman, including calls late at night and early in the morning.
How on earth did this guy get a hold of her?
There were also regular calls between Diamond and Rachel Gentile, and a call to Benjamin Crump on March 31st, just before Rachel's deposition.
So does it seem like, what it seems like is they're coordinating to have Rachel become the
new witness.
The new witness.
Yeah.
is what this is.
And it even seems like as though the media was involved, because Diamond was having conversations with ABC interviewer, that Gutman guy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this is highly suspicious, because if Diamond was not the person who was dating Trayvon, why is she having a discussion with this news reporter?
Yep.
Doesn't make any sense.
And it's, again, what ends up happening is she tries to convince everyone that she wasn't in a relationship with Trayvon. It was her half-sister, what's her name again?
Rachel Jantel.
Rachel Jantel. And it's because she was trying to save face with her
boyfriend,
her actual boyfriend, Jeff. So this is what's happening. This is her trying to obfuscate, blame, and avoid accountability. Because if you lie enough about it, it didn't actually happen. So what else we got?
This has still got a little bit left on there,
Okay.
so we keep going until about 46 minutes in.
Clearing my head after weeks of research, I realized I had just uncovered the most flagrant judicial fraud in modern times.
Yes.
But even with all the phone records, I still could not identify Diamond. Maybe it wasn't accidental. There were over 100 texts missing. Why did Diamond have to be forced to come forward? Why was Rachel Jantel substituted as a fake witness? And who knew? The George Zimmerman case had started the modern era of fake news and race hoaxes. Had the truth been exposed at trial, the whole course of recent history would have been different. There would be no Black Lives Matter movement. The city of Ferguson might not have blown up. Colin Kaepernick might still be playing for the 49ers. And thousands of young African Americans might have been spared the lethal consequences of the Ferguson effect. But to tell this story, I had to find Diamond. I needed to know the backstory. I had to understand the culture, the street life, even the geography of Diamond's world, if I was going to find her.
Boom. And that's what the rest of this documentary is about. It's about him going to Miami, him going to each of the high schools. He gets a yearbook from basically every high school that each of the people in the contact list, so all the girls that he dated, all the high school Trayvon went to, he goes and gets all of the yearbooks of that year so he can try to find these girls, and that's what he does. He ends up finding Diamond. And once he does, he realizes that she's a master of disguise. She wears a bunch of different weaves all the time, so she always looks very different in each of her pictures. And again, he exposes the fact that a lot of these people involved, like again with her, she had another boyfriend. She has this other boyfriend, and she liked Jeff a whole lot. Jeff was a hardworking kid. He had 2 jobs. Didn't have a lot of time, so he didn't spend much time with her. So, again, she took that as a slight. She wanted to have all of her boyfriend's time and attention because she's a selfish, narcissistic person. And so make him jealous, she was like, we should take a week off. And in that week off, she was probably already, again, flirting with Trayvon on and off, but then started taking Trayvon more seriously during this week off, again, to get Jeff jealous. And it's just high school drama BS. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What you got?
Oh, that's if there's anything on there that you needed to repeat on down there at the bottom.
Goes to all the local high schools. Finds Rachel Jantel. And again, Rachel Jantel, who is borderline retarded, is Diamond's half-sister. And then, she had a 4th grade reading level at the trial. Finds out the girl's written Diamond Gene. Yeah. Again, Trayvon was in a horrible mood that day, and Diamond was playing around with 2 boyfriends. I mean, that's it. That's it. That's the crux of this. It's a young high school girl playing
2 different people.
2 different people.
Yeah.
Again, Trayvon was never her serious boyfriend. She was just using him. She was just, again, it's what every girl dreams of, being the most desired woman. You have 2 men who are fighting for your affection. Yeah. It's every girl's dream.
That's the plot to every single rom-com that women are obsessed with. It's 2 really hot, successful guys are obsessed with me, and I have to choose between them.
She has to choose between either the man of God or at the hardworking man of God, or she has to choose between the pseudo gangbanger guy, which is Trayvon.
Which, at least, if you don't want to argue that he wasn't officially in a gang, he was affiliated with gangs and he was selling drugs.
Yes, smoking lots of weed. So, again, I know all the weed smokers be like, well, that's not a crime, but it
was then. It's not now. But still.
But you are a representative. Like, what was the old saying? It's like the 5 people you hang out with are the most influential in your lives.
Look at your 5.
You are the 5. You are a
reflection of the 5 of your 5 closest friends, supposedly.
Yes. So again, but they're dealing with the same things all high school kids want. They want to be in relationships. They want to. They want to hop on the good foot and do the bad thing.
It's like with anybody. They want to look cool. They want to have cool, flashy cars, do cool things, and hang out with beautiful women.
Yes.
That's what guys want to do.
Exactly. And again, and you want it to be real, too. You don't want it to be fake. Everybody wants a genuine connection, wants a genuine relationship. And Trayvon was slowly finding out that he didn't have a genuine connection with this girl, that she was using him. And again, no guy likes that. And this is when, again, they're having the end of the relationship. You saw the text messages, go F a hoe, is what she told him. And then he was on the phone with her, trying to probably salvage the relationship. And then George Zimmerman's tailing him, being like, hey, there's a kid in this neighborhood with his hood up. I don't know, walking around in the rain. I don't think he belongs here. And it's like, hey, you a snitch. And we already know he loves street fighting. So he turns around and just starts beating the crap out of him.
Which, that's things that we even kind of didn't even touch on. Was one, he just got suspended from school, which I think it just talked about, which he got suspended like 3 times. His mom kicked him out of her house because he got suspended from school and said, you're going to go live with your dad. Said he doesn't go to his dad's house. He's going to his dad's ex-wife house, which is his stepmom. Mom Alicia. Mom Alicia. So he was going to her house to go see her. So he obviously didn't have enough like a relationship with his mom and his dad. He's going to a person he's not even related to go live for a little bit. So this goes to show you like how well that his family life actually was. So he has a piss poor family life. He's getting kicked out of his mom's house. He's been suspended from school for fighting and doing drugs and all this other stuff. And then he is getting broken up with his girlfriend. Those are 5 things that would drive just about anybody crazy.
Yeah, if it feels like your life is falling apart, you're going to lash out against people, and he lashed out against somebody who had a gun, which was not a smart move. Again, this is why a dad is so important in your life. Like, you have to learn self-control. You have to learn to manage and control your emotions. Yeah. Because if your emotions control you, you're a slave to your emotions.
Which, again, this is also why most of the most famous, people in the black community are athletes, because what did they do? If they have a poor family life, they usually hone everything into whatever sports activity that they're doing.
Because it's the only positive thing they have in their life.
Exactly. It's like, here, use this. And like the coaches, use this as a funnel for your outrage or whatever it is. Just put all your time and effort into this and you'll be okay.
Yeah. And again, but think about it, only 1% of the guys make it to the NFL, and, maybe 1% make it to college. It's like, for all those guys that don't, that they're not good enough, like you or I, like if we had been like that, it's like we weren't good enough to play in college. It's like nobody's going to give us a scholarship. What do the rest of those guys do? They end up joining gangs because I don't want to be a shelf shocker at Walmart. The gangbanger lifestyle is more lucrative. It's more flashy. It's cooler.
Well, exactly. It's no everything else. It's this job, the old mentality of this job is beneath me.
Yes.
And like looking cool, having people, if you can't have people respect you, having people fear you feels like respect. And that's the thing about being in a gang, is like, ain't nobody gonna mess with you when you rolling with us.
Yep, you with the boys, like we tough, Yep, you're invincible. So yeah, guy, go ahead and go on to the.
Okay, the next point you had here, we jump in like towards the end here, and it says Diamonds lie. So here we go.
18-year-old Diamond's house, where she had driven her home 2 weeks earlier, 2648 Flamingo Drive. But someone sent them to Francine's house.
When I knocked on the door, Francine answered the door, and I asked for Diamond.
That's when 18-year-old Rachel Gentile appeared. Sabrina was alarmed. She broke away and called Diamond. Diamond immediately tweeted about Sabrina's call. Trayvon Martin mom just called me. She thought I was Trayvon's girlfriend, asking me hella questions, confused. The audience for Diamond's tweets was Jeff. Sabrina had a big dilemma. Celebrities and even the president had rallied to her side. Millions had signed petitions and marched. If Sabrina alerted prosecutors, there would be no payoff from the Homeowners Association, and her I Am Trayvon trademark would be worthless.
And say, prove us wrong. Where's your evidence? Give us one name of one witness that could establish that this was a hoax.
It's a cop.
Even worse, the name Trayvon Martin would be remembered as just another Al Sharpton race hoax.
Trayvon! 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 Give love to
This is what happens when you don't have a moral and religious people like this woman. Do you think that she cares more about judgment from God, or do you think she wants a payout? Like, I get this money for my son's death from this homeowners association. We're suing them, and I don't know how much they paid, how much she got in this case, but it doesn't matter. She's going to be living comfortably.
Yeah. And then that's the other point, too, is we heard it from George Zimmerman, was like, why is she getting a payout from the homeowners association? Because it was said that he was part of a neighborhood watch that was to keep kids out of the neighborhood or to keep unwanted people out of the neighborhood, whereas George Zimmerman was like, I wasn't a part of the neighborhood watch.
Yeah.
So you could argue maybe George Zimmerman was lying, but the only reason that she's getting a payout from the homeowners association is because they said that they had a neighborhood watch, which is insane to think about. It's like, you should have like a neighborhood watch.
Again, yes, you should have citizens who are willing to police themselves, take responsibility in their communities. But no.
Well, which is funny because that's what black communities argue, that they want police houses. We'll police our own communities.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's no different than Muslims saying we'll police our own communities with Sharia law. Mm-hmm. You know, it's there's a fine line.
Well, it's they can do it. Like I said, the black community is allowed to police themselves. The Muslim community is allowed to police themselves. But God forbid which is not even white, because George Zimmerman's not white, but a white community or a community other than your community has a little self-segregated police force or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're just like, what's going on here?
Yep.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
Yep.
I think there's a little bit more at the end of this right here.
Sabrina chose to say nothing.
Could you state your name for the record, please?
Rachel Gentile.
By the end of Rachel's deposition, if Sabrina wasn't feeling guilty about the deception, Rachel was.
Real guilty.
Huh?
Real guilty.
Why do you feel real guilty?
I ain't know about it.
Huh?
I ain't know about it.
The real Diamond Eugene went back to tweeting that night. I'm dying laughing, man. That was too funny. Got my noodles and juice. I'm tuned. Juice was alcohol, and tuned meant drunk. 2 days later, Felicia Cineas posted on her Facebook page, only God could judge me. Can't trust nobody.
Joining us in Los Angeles is...
Again, if you look at this, like Pontius Pilate, the real Diamond Eugene, which is Brittany Diamond Eugene, washed her hands clean of this by basically saying, I wasn't Trayvon's boyfriend, my half-sister Gentile was, Rachel Gentile. That's disgusting. You know, and again, the conclusion this guy comes to is Diamond's a good person. No, she's not. She's a pathological liar. I mean, she even finds out that she got a nose job to, further hide her identity.
Mm-hmm.
Because she didn't want to be associated with this. She wanted to hide in life. Again, this guy comes to the wrong conclusion. She wants to hide. She doesn't want to take accountability. Again, if the truth matters, you come out with the truth regardless of how it affects you. If Trayvon's mom believed the truth was more important than the money, she would return the money and she would say, this is what actually happened, and George Zimmerman is innocent, and my son lashed out in a big moment of weakness, and it cost him his life. That would be the conclusion.
Yep.
But it's not, because there's too much money to be made. We are corrupted by the world, and again, what's your price? What's the price for your soul? We know what the price of Trayvon's mother's soul is. I mean, we don't know the official numbers, but she knows the official numbers. And now she's a Democratic operative.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, continue. We'll keep going.
Well, this next little bit is his conclusion, so
yeah,
we'll
they're all the conclusions, but
Yeah.
it's the conclusions for everybody.
Never suspected this. It was a shocking revelation that explained a lot. That also explained why Diamond's second phone number was in the name of Rachel's brother, Daniel Eugene. He was likely Diamond's half-brother, too. I decided to call what I uncovered the Trayvon hoax because it became the standard scam the media would play on black Americans to control their votes.
Matt Gutman is in Miami with the latest on all this.
Hey, good morning, Robin. We've been following this story for a few weeks now.
The Trayvon hoax goes like this. The media repeats a story with no questions asked that a black person was attacked by a white male because of skin color. Then they say the white person represents America. So black people must be very afraid. And to protect themselves, vote Democrat. On Election Day 2012, Felicia Cineas tweeted, "Vote Obama or die." That's the Trayvon hoax.
This is one of Diamond's
Felicia,
friends.
Diamond, and all their friends and family bought into it as kids. The fear prevents people like Felicia and Diamond from connecting the problems in their families to the Democrat policies controlling their communities. The terrible schools, drug cultures, gangs, and lack of jobs in urban America. Vote Democrat or we're gonna die. That's the Trayvon hoax.
So you said, my name is Diamond Eugene, and I'm 16.
Don't say my name or my fake name. Don't say my age, my fake age.
Without Rachel Gentile, the fake witness, George Zimmerman would never have been arrested nor been the subject of the most racially charged trial since OJ.
Yep. Again, craziness, man. Craziness. It's just, this is sad though. Again, this is what happens, that at the end of the day, this country was made for a moral and religious people. Now, the problem is, a lot of these people in the black community are very religious. Like you see the girls wearing all this glam on their fingers. That she has the cross rings on her finger. You know, they have cross necklaces. They say they're doing it for God. You know, but it's anything but. They're living for themselves, and then again saying, you know, just doing the Hail Mary. You know, it's like, "Am I forgiven, Lord?"
Yes.
But they're not actually living for the Lord.
Yes, but this is the point. Is like there is a mentality in black culture of you don't snitch on your own.
Yeah.
We protect our own. It's like, even at the detriment to the fact that you have to lie, cheat, and steal to protect your own. And as we can see from this case, that is, unfortunately, the sad reality.
Yeah.
Is like they will do anything and say anything to lie in a jury trial to send someone to jail.
To accept accountability and responsibility for their actions.
Yep.
Don't take accountability. Don't take responsibility for your actions.
Yeah.
It's somebody else's fault. Somebody else has oppressed you. Again, nobody oppressed anybody in this situation. This is high school drama that turned into a young man lashing out in a moment of weakness and anger at George Zimmerman. And it said, unfortunately for him, the guy was armed. So this is just how it is. I mean, if he hadn't, he could have beaten him to death, you know?
Yep.
There's no telling what Trayvon could have done in that emotional state.
Yep. So I had this next part pulled up right here. It still says conclusion, so I'm assuming.
Only about once a week. Real love, I'm searching for real love. For Trayvon's best friends, it's been all downhill. Mario has since been convicted of stealing a car, resisting arrest, and most recently, for pimping. Stefan Bramble was convicted of burglary and grand theft. Sabrina Fulton is now a public speaker and a Democrat Party operative who spreads the Trayvon hoax at every chance she gets.
In our communities, don't feel safe simply walking to the store to get candy and a drink.
That because of someone's color of their skin, people hate you so much
that they want to kill you.
Black people
She's
must
not
be
even a good
afraid of
speaker.
America and vote Democrat. He's got my vote. People, please get out and vote. It's important.
Your life depends on it. Get out and vote.
Sabrina is now running for office.
I am you.
Trayvon's phone proved to be the Rosetta Stone of my investigation. I got to know Trayvon over the last 8 months of his life. I saw him grow up, struggle, feel pain, hope and love, and act with kindness and recklessness. With the phone records, I was able to decode his language, find Diamond, and unravel the Trayvon hoax.
We want you to know that our hearts are out there marching with them.
The true meaning of Trayvon's life was stolen by left-wing activists, the
Yes.
media, and their agenda. Trayvon's real legacy is, in fact, a teachable moment.
Yes, and it's a teachable moment that we've been saying the entire time, and Larry Elder's been saying for years. These young black men don't have good father figures in the home, and they need someone to look up to. They need father figures. They need rule setters, boundary setters, and that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
The black community needs black men, and they need good black men of moral character. And we don't need this tribalistic mentality that's infected the black community, saying, "Hey, we're either all together or you're not with us. You know, you're either with us or you're against us." It's like, no, we want the truth, and the truth might not always be what you want to hear. It's like when you come in with the AA meeting or something like that. It's like, you're addicted to this. Like, you have a problem. And the black community just doesn't want to hear it. Because we're all doing but we always argue the exception to the rule and never the rule. Like, the vast majority of people are better off with fathers in the home. Well, some people make it to the NFL and are successful without fathers. Yes, some, not all, not most.
Yep.
So again, that's the mentality we live in. But exception, no, we're not talking about the exceptions. We're talking about the vast majority.
Yep. Then there's a little bit left of this, and I think we're just about wrapped up.
That had nothing to do with black Americans. Collectivism, transgenderism, globalism, and black villages.
We called up to New York City, and we called for a man who had a track record. I've been privileged to be an advisor and a spokesman for Tawana Brawley. Reverend Al Sharpton.
Like his hero, Al Sharpton, Benjamin Crump became a national figure because of a race hoax.
He was named the National Trial Lawyer's Top 100 Lawyers in America. Ebony Magazine Power 100 Most Influential African Americans.
Crump wasted no...
Man sold his soul for fame and glory.
Mm-hmm. What's your price? Are you going to be a man of the world, or are you going to be a man of God? And all these people you see here on camera have chose to be men of the world. Like, they'll claim to be followers of God and Christ, but they don't actually care. They want to sow hatred and division because it profits them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is what we're up against. We're at war with principalities and evil.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't understand how Al Sharpton still has a career after the only thing that brought him to his big claim to fame was proven to be a lie. Like, you think that would wipe all the good stuff out of your life, but somehow in Democratic circles, you seem to constantly fail upwards.
Yes.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Yep. And it's going to be the same for his little protege here.
Mm-hmm.
No time at all arriving in Ferguson, Missouri with Reverend Al for the next big Trayvon hoax.
That prosecutor has no regards for the young person of color.
The Ferguson effect caused a crime disaster in black neighborhoods as cops backed off proactive policing. Thousands more black youth have been killed each year as a result. Then Crump went Hollywood, starting his own film production company, producing, ironically, evidence of innocence.
Every single time, Democratic operatives always end up in the
Hollywood.
film industry.
Yep.
It's insane. The Obamas are the biggest, I think,
Netflix
owner
shareholders.
of Netflix shareholders. Yeah. Why is it always Democrats are always involved in media outlets every time?
Well, I mean, the simple answer is because conservatives are wrong. And conservatives don't get to have an opinion because their opinions are wrong, therefore they don't get to be in Hollywood.
But it's because they're storytellers, and in this case, they're lying. Like I said, this whole thing proves that how good storytellers Democrats are is because they can form a lie out of anything.
Yes. Start with the conclusion and then manipulate the evidence to
Their
fit that
favor.
conclusion. Yep.
Exactly. And then this guy, I like this video, but I mean, how many people do you think have seen this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably not nearly as much that believe all the other hoax.
I mean, there's
crap.
already stuff. You can go scroll down in the comments and see the people. This video is full of crap. You know.
I believe that. Yep. Exactly why I don't trust the media anymore. Yeah. You could read that for hours, but we still got some of this left over.
Okay.
Going and getting an iced tea and Skittles.
Of course, Crump endorsed Andrew Gillum for governor of Florida.
I know and I believe that God is using me.
No, I don't think it's God. For the Lord hates a heart that devises wicked plans, a false witness who breathes out lies, and who sows discord among brothers. It's a pretty evil idea to use a troubled black teen's tragic death to put an Hispanic man in prison with the goal of controlling black voters. In fact, the media plays the Trayvon hoax every day. Play means to make a fool of.
But this is all fresh reaction that's been going on in just the last few hours after the word of this crime has started to spread out there.
And this is America in 2019.
I know Trayvon. At heart, he was a good kid. He knew right from wrong. Trayvon would not have wanted anyone to die for a hoax in his name.
Yep. Boom. And that's the documentary. And I thought it was fantastic. This is a fantastic documentary. I guarantee everyone should watch it. Watch it on double speed if you don't have a lot of time. It's great. And it just goes to show you, I mean, all of America should see this. All of the black community should see this.
Yep.
And maybe we could start to slowly begin to heal from this.
Yeah. And if you can't see it, this is the actual filmmaker himself, the guy that owns it. This is Joel Gilbert's channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic. Check out Joel Gilbert's stuff. This is good stuff. Thank you for making this documentary, Joe, and this is great stuff. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Great breakdown, great documentary. So everyone should give this a watch, and if you don't have time, again, watch it on double speed. It's free on YouTube. So just get your popcorn and get a soda and watch it out if you're not a big documentary person. But if you care about the truth and you care about how things work in the world, it's definitely worth taking a look at.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's about it for us here. This was our Throwback Thursday and our Throwback Thursday as well as our movie review. So this is the Twins with Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. That is all we've got for you today. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.
Diamond's half-brother, too. I decided to call what I uncovered the Trayvon hoax because it became the standard scam the media would play on black Americans to control their votes.
Matt Gutman is in Miami with the latest on all this.
Hey, good morning, Robin. We've been following this story for a few weeks now.
The Trayvon hoax goes like this. The media repeats a story with no questions asked that a black person was attacked by a white male because of skin color. Then they say the white person represents America. So black people must be very afraid. And to protect themselves, vote Democrat. On Election Day 2012, Felicia